Welcome everybody, welcome to finding the hottest stocks in Australia currently. Let's just do a quick sound check and balance, make sure everything's coming through okay. You can see my picture, you can hear me, and it's time now to get going. All right, with that said, let's get straight into it. So the first thing I want to do here is introduce myself. Let's see if I can transition this across here so you can see me, and let's just make sure you can see me here. My name's Russell Markham. I'm the Director of VectorVest Australia for Education. There we are. Yes, I can see myself coming through nice and clearly there. And welcome to coming along to this great webcast. Let's transition across here and let's get going. All right, so first thing first, let's just make sure sound's coming through. Yes, good. Pictures coming through. Great. Let's jump into it. So first thing first, disclaimer. Just want to note there, please note our financial services license, and you can check us out per our web page there. All right, so we've got a great link there on our web page where you can read up more. In addition, today, any advice today is general advice. Please do speak to your financial advisor for personal advice. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Forecasts and back tests used or discussed in this presentation are intended as guide only, and actual results may be affected by known or unknown risks and uncertainties, and therefore may differ materially from the results ultimately achieved. All right, so what I'll do here, I'll just transition it one last time here. I just want to let you know today, everything that we cover here is going to be used with the power of VectorVest. So the VectorVest system is going to show you exactly how we do it all. All right, so I can't wait to share that with you today. All right, so let's jump into it. So here we are, we're back on this page here, and let's get going about finding great quality stocks. Now, what we do in VectorVest each and every day is we rank and sort all of the stocks in the VectorVest system via the best fundamentals and technicals. So here is one such example, all right, where we're ranking and sorting some of the best growth stocks with some of the best technicals. All right, and the best way to show you this is in the VectorVest system itself. So if I jump into the VectorVest system, let's pull that across here. And all I'm doing is I'm clicking on the Viewers tab, and we've got this tool here called Stock Viewer. So straight away, there are some of the hottest stocks you're going to find just by clicking your mouse just a few times there. So straight away, some of the best fundamental and technical stocks here, we sorted by this master indicator here called VST. Value, safety, and timing, the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals. And you've got all these straight away at the top of your list. So you can see Pilbara, New Hope Corp, Whitehaven Coal, Terracom. Why are some of these stocks right up at the top of the list? Well, I'm going to take it nice and slowly to give you a few ideas on what we're looking for. So straight away, to answer the question, to cut to the chase, there we are. I found you some of the hottest stocks in Australia right now. How long did that take? A couple of seconds. Let's dig in a bit deeper. Let's graph the first one here, for example. All right. I'll take it nice and slow to begin with. So let's just do this. Let's turn all this off for now. There's the share price. All right, the share price over the last year. If I zoom it in recent times, you can see it's had a very explosive run. It's gone from about $2 odd back in June last year, or should I say June of this year. Wow, it's only 6 months ago, or just over, or just under 6 months there. So not a lot there. In fact, 3 months. There we are, the bottom of the graph there. So 3 months ago, it's gone from $2 odd to $4 odd, doubled your money. But how would you have picked on such a stock? And here, a few of you sort of saying, well, that's all good in hindsight, but in reality, how would have I actually gone and picked something like Pilbara? Well, let's open it up a bit further here. I'm going to put on this indicator here called RT, relative timing. I've got a slide in it, so let me just jump in and grab you a nice definition with the slide. So we've covered VST, so all those stocks are sorted with the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals. Right, so it looks for the best combination of fundamentals and technicals. And here's Pilbara. Now I've put on this indicator relative timing. So I've just shown you that in the VectorVest system. And I'll just stick with the slides for now. It's just easier just to show you on the slide sets here. When relative timing breaks above 1, we're noting that the short-term price momentum is up. Okay, so just to give you a definition here, relative timing, It's an indicator of short-term price trend. The direction, magnitude, and dynamics of price history are used to determine relative timing. All right, so it's looking at short-term price momentum. So here we see it breaking above 1. All right, at that point there, we see it breaking above 1 at $2.48. Has it fallen below 1 since? No. So the momentum is still in our favor. So going back in time, there we are. It went from below 1. It's temporarily went above 1, but around about here, definitely it's breaking above 1, holding above 1. There is a good entry signal to consider getting in. That is a technical indicator, right? At VectorVest, we combine both fundamental and technicals. You can do them separately, but we like to put the two together. All right, so let's put the two together now. Here's another one I want you to have a look at. This is a fundamental indicator, earnings per share, EPS. And to give you the exact definition, this EPS will differ from a typical accounting EPS because it stands for a 12-month leading earnings per share. So if I'm looking at an accounting earnings per share to see what the earnings of a company are doing, I'm looking at historical earnings. Great. Historically, that company's done well. But what about the future? The future becomes very important because if a company is not going to continue to grow its earnings, it might have great historical earnings, but the future is looking a bit shaky, then, well, you need to be careful. Right, so at VectorVest now, we are forward-looking. We look in the rearview mirror, and we're also forward-looking as well. All right, so VectorVest determines this forecast from a combination of recent earnings performance and traditional fiscal and or calendar year earnings forecasts. We've been doing this now for over 30 years, all right? So we're very confident with that 12-month leading forecast that we provide you on the earnings. And if I go back over here, look what the earnings are doing. They're going up, 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 up. As earnings go up, this is 12-month leading forecast and earnings, you will see time and time again, rising earnings, rising share prices. So if we put the two together, all right, so let's do this. We'll put the two together. Here we go. Technicals, relative timing, short-term price momentum. Technicals break up above 1. The earnings are lifting. These now both operate in tandem. There are your technicals, there is your fundamentals, and there is your share price. So quite comfortably, you've identified at 248 was a potential entry point, and you've gone to over $4.60 odd. A very healthy uplift, basically doubled your money. All right, let's do it again. All right, so you might look at this and say, well, hang on, why are you picking on NHC now? Let's jump out of here and just minimize this for a second. NHC is the second one on the list, right, as of the 27th of September right now. So if I just go back in time and say, well, you know, all very well in hindsight, but, you know, how would have I known at the time? Right, so I'm doing that now. I'm setting it up for you. So all you have to do is just simply worry about the technicals and the earnings. It's real simple. You can just save the layout so you don't have to put it back in. I'm just showing you how we do it. And I'm just zooming in over here. There we go. Technicals break above 1 around about here. So that's the one line over there. And it breaks above 1 here. You can see the earnings are lifting. All right, so if you pull it back over time, look at that. The earnings are continuing to power on. Technicals fire up. This is great. You've got both earnings and technicals in your favor. And let's see, where did the price go? The price was $377 as of 11 July, and it's now $573. So you've got the fundamentals and technicals working in your favor. All right, so I'll jump back to the slides just to speed up to show you this. It's really handy seeing this. Let's just bring that slide set back on. I'll minimize out of here. Whoop. And let's bring it back in. There we are. Maximize it up. All right. So you see it there. Moving on. Whitehaven Coal was the third one, I think, in that list. And you see it again. You see the earnings lifting up. See the technicals breaking above 1. If you're more conservative, you might want to wait a wee bit more. You might say, well, okay, but you know, I'm not quite convinced that the technicals are lifting up fast enough at this point. Maybe it's just a temporary uplift before it goes down. Well, if that's the case, wait a bit more. Maybe get in here. and you're seeing the earnings definitely continuing to power up further. All right, so you see the price there around about $5, and it's now up over just shy of $9. All right, fundamentals and technicals, and that's how you find the hottest stocks in Australia. Let's do it again. Terracom was the fourth one, I believe, in that list. All right, there we are. Earnings, definite uptick in those earnings, very, very nice. Technicals were under a bit of pressure. They were bouncing around below 1. Here they break above 1. It just poked its head above 1 temporarily, went straight back down. So you might just want to wait a day or two just to make sure it's going to follow through. There, it's definitely on its way. So here we go. We are at about, what's that, about 75 cents, and it's broken all the way up to just over $1. All right. So let's hop back into VectorVest just to show you. Right, there we are. That's all I did. I load up VectorVest, I click on Viewers, I click on Stock Viewer, and then VectorVest will sort the stocks with the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals at the top of the list. And there they are. They present themselves each and every day to you at the top of that list. All right, doesn't get much easier than that. All right, let's keep moving on here. Here's the next one, AKE, and again, you're seeing it time and time again. There, the technicals break above 1. This one sort of whipsawed, it broke above 1, it went and touched back down exactly on 1, but then it got going and away it went. So maybe you might have considered, say, getting in here. Even if you got in around about here, it would have still been at what, $12. It's gone up over $14 in just a couple of weeks. All right. The next one I want to show you, way of finding these powerful high-performing stocks in the VectorVest database, is to make use of a tool called Unisearch. All right, Unisearch. Unisearch will go and identify stocks doing just about anything you can think that they are doing. All right, so whether you're after fundamentals, whether you're after technicals, whether you want to combine the two together. So in the VectorVest system here under Unisearch, we have this Unisearch called Delta Searches Stocks. All right, it's Delta Searches Stocks. And this is the one I'm going to pick on today, just as an example. This one here called Explosive EPS Stocks. Why do I want stocks that are exploding up in their earnings? Well, just like what we saw earlier, we're seeing that strong correlation between earnings and share price. All right, so if I can find those companies that are exploding up in their earnings, then I can just double check to make sure that the technicals also in my favor, and away I go. In this particular case, I'm just going to concentrate just purely on the earnings to give me some ideas. All right. So with that said, here we go. I click on this one here, Explosive EPS Stocks, and I'll go do it in the VectorVest system just to show you. That's a slide. So let's do it in the actual system itself. So now I just click on Unisearch. All right. And then I've gone to Delta Searches, and I'll click on this one here, Explosive EPS Stocks. So what VectorVest is doing here is saying, buy me a stock greater than $1. We don't want any penny stocks. Must be buy rated. So buy rated shares are shares that have solid fundamentals and technicals on average. Certainly the technicals are doing what you want, and often they're associated with good fundamentals as well. We're going to back it up with good fundamentals with our earnings indicator. We want to make sure that there's at least 100,000 trades done a day on average, a 50-day average there for at least 100,000 trades a day. And then the earnings, we're using this operator here called delta. It's just a fancy way of saying a change, a rate of change. Over the last 13 weeks, those earnings must have moved up by at least 25% or more. All right, over the last 13 weeks, 25% or more. Let's run the search. All right, so we run the search. Look at that, Pilbara again, New Hope, Whitehaven Coal. Here they all are popping up again. Right, so we've looked at a lot of these. Let's go down a little bit further. Have we looked at, say, IGO? I graph this one here. So all right up at the top of the list here. And here you go, yet another example. All right, so the technicals are firing up, still holding steady, and the earnings are continuing to power on. I really like the look of that currently. Right, the technicals are holding up, the earnings are powering on. I liked it here. I like it here, I like it here, here. You see what I'm saying? So you've had plenty of notice. It continues to power on. All right, close that one out. Let's see, Min Resources. It's another one we haven't looked at today. Let's fire that one up. Here we go. breaks above the technical one over there. So breaks above one here, the earnings continue to power on, and it's gone from, what was it, $53 to 65. All right, so even in difficult market conditions, what I'm showing you here, I like to refer to this as open season. It doesn't really matter what stage of the market cycle you're in. There's always companies that are breaking out in price, and using the VectorVest system, it makes it really easy to identify those companies. All right, the real power in this search here is also this earnings. You know, the 13 weeks increasing by 25% or more. And look at this, over 13 weeks, you can see Pilbara has gone up a whopping 87% on its earnings, 73% for New Hope, 112 for Whitehaven Coal. That's phenomenal. All right, look at all these numbers here. Look at this one here, Qantas up 160 odd percent. Right, so Qantas has been heavily sold down with what was going on in the airline industry. Is this the turning point? Well, we're certainly seeing the technicals breaking above one here. Careful here, the earnings are still below, right? It's a negative number, but here they've just started to come positive and they're starting to track up. So here you're getting your technicals still holding above one, your earnings starting to track up. This may very well prove to be the turning point. So VectorVest is identifying that early turning point. All right, so there we are. Let's jump into the slide sets again. All right, so here we are on the slide sets. All right, so I've brought this slide up here. Let's demonstrate in VectorVest. So I've demonstrated in VectorVest, but I'm going to demonstrate something now using market timing. So I note over here, market timing, the final ingredient. So I've identified turning points with the technicals, backed it up with the fundamentals. So that's been really useful. But what we need to do now is we need to include the final ingredient. And the final ingredient is market timing. Okay, so I'll leave you with one last thing here today, market timing. So if I click on the VectorVest graphs, we've got this tab here called graphs. And what graphs will do for us is it will identify either stocks, sectors, industries. But in this particular case here, what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to look at market, the overall market, right? So market timing, and I'll fire up the market timing. Here's relative timing, what we just looked at. Short-term price momentum. And you can see that the market's been under a lot of pressure and the technicals have been below one for quite some time. You see over here, look at that, the technicals break below one, the overall market goes down. What if you were to look to get into the market when the market is moving to the upside, the technicals are moving up? What if we were to go and pick on those good quality stocks when the overall market's moving up? So we have this indicator in VectorVest called the confirmed calls. Here it is, it lights up. It's not just purely whether the relative timing breaks above one. There's a few other important bits of ingredients that goes into it, but it's very illuminating and it's very illustrative to show you this. Where the technicals break above one, the market trend is moving up nicely. And here's a little secret, even in a rising market, a bullish market, even pretty mediocre stocks tend to move up a bit, and the good quality stocks tend to fly. So what about this? What if we were to go and use that Unisearch, remember this search here? What if we were to go and identify stocks on the 29th of July, all right? And then we'd look to sell them out when the market turned to the downside on the 1st of September. How about that? So 29 July 2022, let's go to our Unisearch, let's change it. Let's go back in time, all right? 29 July, look, VectorVest notes, there's a good time to consider the market. So 29 July, and we're in the search. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab, let's say, the top 5 stocks. Okay, look at these ones here. We've seen some of these. VectorVest was identifying those stocks even back then. Grab the top 5 on the 29th of July. If I kept them all the way until the 27th of September, look at that, 30-odd%. Now, if you're more conservative, you might say, well, hang on. We started to see that the market started to slow down on 1 September, as we saw in that graph. I run the test from that time period there. Look at that, all of them were winners. 31% for Pilbara, Whitehaven Coal, 27%. Look at those returns, 17%. You returned 17% when the overall market on average fell just shy of 2%. All right. So what we're doing there is, I'll just jump back into VectorVest. What we're doing there is we're using market timing now in combination with our search. Makes it real easy. You then know when to buy and you know what to buy, and you also know when to sell, because on the exit signals we say be careful. Let's go and look at the very first technique we showed you. So two different ways, remember, in stock view, identifying those good quality stocks, or you could pick on one of the great Unisearches that we have to identify stocks. Let's go back to the first technique on using stock viewer, and all I'm going to do, same deal again. So that turning point, as we saw on the graph, 29 July. All right, there is the green signal. All right, best fundamentals and technicals at the top of the list. All right, here we are. Let's grab the top 5 using stock viewer here. Run it through until 1 September. There's 13%. All right, so Unisearch helps you refine stock viewer further, so you can really get what you're after. But stock view is incredibly powerful on any given day for finding some of the best fundamental and technical stocks money can buy, and then you can use Unisearch to refine it further to place certain caveats on what you're looking for. All right, so that's how you find some of the hottest stocks there in Australia. So let's do this. Let's wrap up and finish up here, and let's do this. Let's go back to the 27th of September as of close business yesterday. There are some of your hottest stocks right now. Okay. Pilbara, let's graph it one last time. You might say, oh, well, you know, the horse has already bolted. Surely it was found historically, but hang on. Let's just look what's in front of us. Technicals are still firing up. Fundamentals are still firing up. Sure, it's having a bit of a breather, just like I had a bit of a breather here and a bit of a breather here. The fundamentals and technicals are still holding up. All right, hop into Unisearch. All right, change the date. Let's come into September. As of close of business yesterday, run the search. Look at that, Pilbara popping up yet again. Let's pick the next one there. New Hope. We've looked at that before. Let's have one last look. Fundamentals still holding up. Technical still holding up. The last thing I'll leave you with here, ideally, when would you like to buy those stocks using those two techniques? When the market gives you that up signal. At the moment, we are in a down signal. All right, so when the next up signal takes place again, you know, you'll see the technicals breaking above 1. Apply that technique. That's the best time to apply the technique. So I hope you got a lot out of it. Hope you can see just how quick and easy it is to do. Let's just transition this back over here. Thank you for your attendance today. Hope you got a lot out of it. If you have any questions, drop us a line. What I'll do here is I'm just going to move it over to the other screen here, and let's complete it over here. I did actually have one last thing I'll show you, but for those of you that would like to take out a trial, VectorVest.com.au. All right, www.vectorvest.com.au/trial, or just hop along to our website, VectorVest.com.au, and then from there you can then take out a trial. There's a link up the top where you can take out a trial. Just so you know, each trialist, you'll get up to 30 minutes free training by one of our consultants based in Melbourne. You get invited to our monthly online VectorVest investment gathering. You'll get access to our weekly videos and essays, and you'll get access to all of our portfolios that we track each day. So just on that point, I don't want to overload you with too much, but this is a great one to show you just in concluding here. In the VectorVest system each and every day, you can see some of the best performing portfolios as they take place. All right, so you can see over here, these are the ones that we track for learning purposes. We don't manage your money. We're not fund managers. We're not brokers. We give you great information, valuable information each day from which you can go and make your own decisions. So you can see over here, VectorVest's fastest growing stocks portfolio is up a whopping 18% in the last 3 months. So what you can do in the VectorVest system here is you can go and find out at each and every given day. You can load up each one of our portfolios. We have them there for you to track each and every day. So you can see that's the track record of this portfolio. And then what I can do is I can drill in and I can come down here and see exactly what is being held each day. And that's incredibly handy and powerful because each and every day you can see what's taking place. And there's not a lot of, well, put it this way, if you were to hop along to any of the key fund managers out there, websites, you know, can you tell me at any given point in time exactly what they're holding? And chances are you can't, right? So what if you could see exactly what's being held in some of the best performing portfolios that VectorVest tracks each day, and that's what we do for you. So you can see over here, look at that. Here they all are. Those are the companies in there currently that are giving you those returns. All right, so you can see that this portfolio since I think it was 2012 is up 500% in the last year. It's sure the market's been difficult. It's up 2% over the last 3 years. It's up a pretty impressive 55%. The last 6 months, 4%. Last 3 months, you can see it's really come up. It's sort of got sold down a bit and it's rocketing back up, and it's motoring on back up again. All right, so vectorvest.com.au. I'll just load up the web page for you as well. So vectorvest.com.au. Let's load up that web page, bring it over for you to have a look. All right, there it is, vectorvest.com.au. What you can do here is you can click on risk-free trial. All right, we've got a blog web page you can read. We're on YouTube, of course, those attending live today, but you can click there, risk-free trial, and it'll load it up, and then away you go. All right, so you can get access for 30 days for $9.95 USD, so about 13 Australian dollars. All right, so I'll leave it there. I'll leave the final page on there. Take out a trial. Feel free to give me an email too. Let's just see, did I put my details here? So you just might want to jot that down. 1-800-303-782. That's our toll-free number. You can always email support@vectorvest.com. Feel free to email me to russellmarkham@vectorvest.com. All right, so if you've got any questions, I'm most happy to answer them. Drop us an email, russellmarkham@vectorvest.com. I'll leave the link there to take out a trial. All right, hope you got a lot out of it. Don't forget, same time next week, we're going to have a great talk on dividends. So don't miss out on that great talk. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.